I would give a Snickers to Odell Beckham because when he acts that way, he's not himself. But maybe he is himself. Maybe he is who he is.
Yes.
And he's just got to grow out of it.
I don't think he's going to grow out of it.
Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
No, it's not a problem. He's the exact same person that everyone fell in love with. He's the exact same person that helped revive Eli Manning's career. Remember before Odell got there, everyone was saying, what is wrong with Eli? He was broken. He was throwing interceptions and not touchdowns. All of that changed in the last 2 years since he's had him there. If you just look at what Eli has done from a quarterbacking standpoint, and everyone's trying to say, well, it's the offensive coordinator that came. No, it's Eli. It's Odell catching balls that he probably should not have caught in a lot of situations. But remember, the guy was dancing, and he was talking, and he was doing all of these things, but he was making more plays, and they were winning a few more games, and then it's okay.
Well, they're 2-2 right now, so it's not like that the season is on the brink and they're 0-4, and he's the reason and all that sort of stuff. But this young man is being villainized coast to coast right now, and there's no question about that, because fans see somebody who is letting somebody get in his kitchen and then costing his team precious yards by doing things that we all believe, should be able to control. I think that's where people are having this problem with Odell.
Okay, I understand you can get upset about the 15-yard penalty on that one, but in that situation where he got the unsportsmanlike, he actually did get hit out of bounds.
He did.
He didn't taunt the guy.
He got hit out of bounds, and then he flipped the ball at him, and that got him the 15 yards, which is why he's saying now that the refs are looking to ding him. And then the next play, he was hit late out of bounds, and there was no flag.
Yeah, so
that happened.
So those things went on. He has to just play the game, and he has to understand. And now what happened from an offensive standpoint, they need to understand how to get the ball to a guy who's double covered. That's what they're simply not doing. He is going to get double covered. He's not the first receiver in the history of the league that has been double covered. Eli just comes off of him. He's beating guys late in routes, but Eli won't stay with him, and I think that's what's frustrating him the most. You're just looking at it on film. He's still getting past guys, but he's not getting his opportunities. Eli looks, they're cutting guys to him. Minnesota had a great game plan for him. I mean, there was always someone underneath and over the top cutting, whether it was a linebacker, whether it was a safety. There was always more than one. There were very few opportunities for Eli to go one-on-one and take those shots. And I think that's what's frustrating him. So they have to do a better job of finding a way to get the ball to their number one receiver.
So that's why I'm with Eric Davis here in the Rich Eisen Show, that he's saying, as he said yesterday, that, okay, I've got my role in the offense isn't what I'd like, and I'm not having fun anymore. Is that what you interpret that?
That's the way I would interpret that.
What you just described with Eli not sticking with him?
Yes, with him not sticking with him, because he's still working to get open, but you can't just – what Eli is doing is just looking out, and you see two guys there, and okay, I'm going to go to my next read, and he's not coming back to him. And that's a product of him producing. That's a product of Odell Beckham producing, and yes, now you're going to get that attention. It's there. But he's still that guy, and he's a receiver, man. They're all going to cry if they don't get the ball. That's just a part of what they do. It's a part of their genetic makeup.
So let's come up with a solution here. Come up with a solve, because I'm trying to pinpoint what you're saying, that it's more Eli's fault than Odell's fault. What's happening right now?
No, I'm not going to say that. That's a product of the entire offense. AB, Antonio Brown gets doubled. Julio Jones gets doubled. You have to find ways to get the ball to these guys by motion, by formation, by picks. Somehow, by design, you got to find ways to get to the guys.
But it's not just that, Eric. It's also people getting in Odell's face and saying something to him, and him letting it bother him. And just like, you've got kids. I said too, I have kids. Your kids are much older than mine. But how many times you say to your kids, hey, when somebody's trying to bully you or somebody's trying to say something, act like it doesn't bother you, because that only feeds their fire.
Well, this is the next part of that. That's from a football standpoint. Okay. From a personal standpoint, I've told him before.
You have?
Yes, I've told him before, and he said it himself, that he has to just play. He knows. And my exact words to him, It's on film now that somebody got in your head. Everyone's going to try to get in your head. That's just it. If you have a bad ankle, I'm going to test that ankle. If you have a bad wrist, I'm going to grab it every single time the play is over. Every time I get next to you, I'm just going to grab it and tug on it. If you have a bad shoulder, I'm going to smack you on that shoulder and push you on that shoulder. That's the game. If you have a soft head, guess what? I'm going to thump it. I'm going to thump it as much as I can. I'm going to thump it until it runs you crazy. That's the game. He put that on film that he has that injury. Guys are going to test that injury. That's just the way this game is. So he has to, as you said, it's not even, you can't ignore it. He's not going to expect him to act differently would be expecting him to not be himself. Well, that's who he is.
That's what I'm saying, though, to grow out of it, where he gets advice from somebody like you. You can't be the only person who have said this to him. I bet you Dion said it to him. I bet you, and let's just even leave our NFL media group family. I'm sure people,
of course,
all over the place have told it. And yet, the thing happened with Norman again, although not as crazy. And then the week after, he does this. And it's just like, okay, at some point, just don't let it bother you.
Well, I don't know if he can not let it bother him because, again, that's who he is. He plays off of that emotion. And that's what I'm saying. He's the same person. The same guy who was dancing and emotional and doing all those things and making those catches before the Josh Norman incident is the person that we saw play this last game. He hasn't changed one bit. Mm-hmm. It's now turning into a fight because everybody's testing his head.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.